Mike Draco, quick on the trigger tonight, first across the line. Hey, welcome to Sunday evening here in the Cycle Source headquarters. It's time for another episode of Shop Talk. Boy, everyone's pouring in tonight. What's up? Dying for some motorcycle action. Bruno Coppola in from Laconia. Anne-Marie Weiss. David Crum, hey now. Robin Higginbottom in with us. Tom Banks, number 84U, Pittsburgh. Greg White, hi y'all, Texas in the house. Put up your name and where you're watching from so we can give you a shout out too. Welcome to America's favorite two-wheel entertainment program. Every Sunday, 9 p.m. we go live with this show, Shop Talk. We're going live with this one in just under 4 minutes. Jeff McKinney in the house, Nancy Weems with us. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll, but man, we're waiting with bated breath. Daytona right around the corner, spring right. Harry Bostard, you got to be kidding me. I can't believe Harry's here. Harry from the Wall of Death. What's up, brother? So good to see your name come up in the feed. Steve Sokol, Menasha, Wisconsin. Shane Conrad, York County, PA. Dennis Stauber, Big D, Marengo, Illinois. Shane Conrad, hope everybody is well. Yes, sir, me too. Hey, sad news this week, and we're going to get into it as we launch the show, but American Daredevil Robbie Knievel passed away just the other day. It's sad, like so many younger people are starting to die. You wonder what's going on. Radar Fletcher in the house. Marshall Four, Lewiston, Idaho. Jeremy Valentine, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Susan Broad, Hill, Carthage, Missouri. Jeff McKinney, come on Bike Week, you got that. Chris No. Hey you guys, Darien, Connecticut. Yeah, it's a big full house tonight, man. It's going to be a really good show. We got Nick Hunter coming on. We're going to be talking about Sons of Speed tonight, and that is one of the biggest reasons I cannot wait. So much new stuff happening with Sons of Speed in Daytona. This is going to be one for the history books for sure. Can't wait to see what happens, and even in pre-show, the conversation we were having just makes you wonder if it's going to be over the top or over the top rope this year at Sons of Speed. We're just about 2 minutes out. Just enough time for you to hit the like and share button to make sure that everyone else knows we're going live with another episode of Shop Talk. 2 minutes. Stick around. Yeah, Mike Draco reminding us, Jeff Beck and Ken Block too. Jeff Beck, man, wow. Can't even believe it. That's like names from our childhood.
Yeah, that's when musicians used to be musicians.
Right on.
Jeff Beck was the man.
Gary and I are looking forward to seeing you back in Daytona. We can't wait to be there too. Are you ever going to have my nephew Chopper Charlie on again? Anytime Charlie wants to come on here, that's one of the only men on planet Earth that makes me jealous for the places he gets to ride. Professional Monkey in the house. Happy New Year, y'all. Who else we got here? Lots of people, man. It's filling up quick here. And we're only 50 seconds out. 50 seconds to make this all happen. I guess I got to do my standard greeting to this week's program and tell you guys that I've been keeping you on hold long enough. Joe Moyer in the house. Keeping you on hold long enough. Let's get this one out of the station and up onto the tracks and go live with this week's episode of Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It is just after 9 p.m. on Sunday. That means it's time for another episode of America's favorite two-wheel motorcycle entertainment program, Shop Talk. I'm your host, Chris Callen with Cycle Source Magazine, and I am going to be your guide through the next 90 to 120 minutes of all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. Some fun times here in the Dennis Kirk studio. They left the door open again, and we squeezed through. Me and the crew.
Hey.
Why is it always got to be bullshit? Why can't it be really good stuff?
Really good two-wheel information. Because, I can't take it that seriously. Come on. We're a couple idiots in a basement and a chick upstairs.
Who yells at us a lot?
So that was a half-hearted, hey, Heather, what's going on?
It's been a long week.
How about you share with everybody and bring your microphone up a little bit?
Oh.
There you go.
Fine, I guess I'll participate, damn it.
Like we're actually
Look
doing
at
a show
you with
here.
a big girl microphone.
Right?
I've had a big girl microphone for like 6 months. Where the hell you been?
All I could ever see is the
Hey.
little thing on the side of the hanging there. I didn't know
You're
it was attached
so
to a motorphone.
observant.
He cleaned the other side of his glasses.
And I turned them around.
So she looked at you and said, "Oh, I got a microphone."
I do look.
God, all I ever see is the little thing that hangs there. I never even realized
It's
it
a
was
little Wonder Woman voodoo doll.
You spending time looking at my old lady's thing?
her thing.
Oh,
Look at
good
her
Lord.
things
You
again.
shut your mouth.
God.
God. Somebody's going to get punched tonight.
David Crum, I literally picked up over 6,000 pounds today cleaning out the welding shop.
Oh, been there, done that 5,332 times.
That's how-
I feel you,
A
David.
week ago, how I blew out my back.
You blew out your back putting on your socks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes the truth hurts.
Dan Starkey in the house? Is that who this is? So listen.
And hairy bastard, too. Harry,
I know.
really,
How
Harry?
about it? How about it?
Harry
Harry,
forever, huh?
Harry gave me one of the first coolest experiences I ever had. He lent me his old, I think it was a 65 Panhead. Back in the day, I went out to L.A. to do Love Ride, and Harry let me ride that old Panhead through, and it was insane because it was me, Harry, and Charlie Ransom.
That's a crew.
lane splitting. Yeah, we were on the 4 and the 5 and like all the crazy shit, man, and it was nuts.
Yeah, haven't seen or heard
This
of
is
Harry in
this is
forever.
how I lane split.
Which is a good thing that she's a passenger
Right?
because otherwise.
There could be an issue.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's pretty much how it went.
So hey, for the Shop Talk faithful, I want to give you guys. I told you that we were working on this, and tonight is the night we're going to try it out first time. If you are watching through Cycle Source Magazine's YouTube page,
We may regret this, you
and
know that.
through
I'm
Cycle
just
Source
saying.
Magazine YouTube only, in the second half of the show at one point, we're going to invite you to be involved. And what that means is we're going to put up a link to the Zoom that we use for our guests, and only people that are watching through the Cycle Source Magazine YouTube will have access to that. So if you know how to work Zoom, I can't help it if you don't know how to do Zoom. If you're not a Zoomer, if you don't have the Zoomies,
And we're not giving you lessons like when you
yeah.
come on.
But here's the deal.
Zoom up,
You get
Johnny.
to come on, and I'm not guaranteeing how many people will get to or that everyone will get on. This isn't outcomes-based entertainment, but we are going to have guests on from the studio audience. So,
Please wear clothes.
but yeah, dear God,
right?
professional monkey, what could go wrong?
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet
like-
Jesus. Now that you said
Lord
that.
only knows. Like, is there a delay?
There's the control because they can't be on the screen unless I put the picture over. But I'm telling you right now, if I see some cool helmet that's
Tossing out
painted
a
pink
Johnny.
and naked, I'm putting it on. Chris Summer Simmons in the house. What's up?
Hey.
This is
Yeah,
filling
this
up.
could go epically bad. It could
Or-
be interesting.
So excited.
Or it could be like the party that nobody shows up to.
Listen, and we're doing this in preparation. Like, there's going to be a lot of things that we're starting to get into this year, especially. As we're heading into our 300th show, and as we get into more of this stuff. Like next week, right, is the Small Shop Symposium. So we're going to have a bunch of small shop owners on. We're going to be talking about some of the changes in the industry, the struggles that they go through as the entire architecture of what it's like to be in the motorcycle business changes. what they're going through, and we want you guys to be involved in more of this stuff, so we want to give the opportunity to have a public voice on here as well, and instead of just our stupid asses going on. So that's what it's all about.
Stupid asses?
It's already out of control. David Crumb's talking about naked welding. Gus is talking about frying bacon. Like,
oh my
good
goodness,
Lord, I'll apologize right now.
Don't apologize.
Buddy.
Never let them see fried bacon naked.
Why is it never the hot
bacon
chick?
naked.
You know what I mean? It's always the fat guy. You know what I mean? That wants to do
The fat
something.
guy that wears a sweater, even when he has no clothes on.
Wants to
Just
do
saying.
something silly, It's always that guy.
Nope.
All right, so hey, like I said at the top of the show, this is a program we do every Sunday, 9 p.m. We go live on over 15 social media channels, but you'll want to be on the Cycle Source YouTube page today.
I accidentally posted the link on YouTube already.
No.
I took it off, though, but it's
Okay.
somewhere in our comments. So.
Don't do it. Don't do it yet. Onesies
I
are
kn-
cool. Yeah, this is getting so bad.
All
So,
right, I gotta go.
So, welcome to Shop Talk. If this is your first time watching, we do this show every week. It's usually hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours.
Next week's going to be crazy good.
It's
this week's crazy
entertainment.
good.
It's
but-
current events. We cover everything that we can here. We have everything that we have in our national newsstand publication, Cycle Source, which means video feature bikes, video tech tips. We get to all of that. But every week we start the whole thing off with a little segment we like to call the news.
The Shop Talk World Report is brought to you by Law Tigers. Get the compensation you deserve and get back on the road with Law Tigers.
First up in the news tonight, American Picker star Mike Wolf is selling half his huge antique motorcycle collection. American Picker star Mike Wolf says he's starting 2023 by sharing his love of vintage motorcycles. Wolf, a premier collector of historic bikes, is selling more than 60 pieces, nearly half of his private collection, during the world's largest motorcycle auction in Las Vegas later this month. All of these bikes have had a special place in my heart, a lot of incredible moments finding them that I will never forget, Wolf wrote on Instagram announcing the sale, but I understand that their journey doesn't end with me. Wolf will appear at the auction, has sold bikes on and off over the years, but never at this scale. Dude, and they go on. I mean, he says a lot of great things that, really the whole passion for this cat is in the collecting and the finding and the stories. And proof of that is every one of these bikes is going to be sold in the exact as found condition. Like, he doesn't clean bikes when he finds them. He doesn't restore them. He doesn't do anything with them. He says that the story about how he found them and moving them on to the next person, that's part of the whole deal for him. So
So,
I think we should go
I
to
mean,
that.
I would love to
Yeah,
go
we
to
should-
the,
we
yeah,
should go.
that's a bucket list thing
I would
for
like
me.
to go to Macomb
So,
too.
I know nothing about, I know he's on American Pickers, but I know nothing about Mike Wolf's personal life or anything like that. But I gotta say, the only reason I could imagine a man selling half of his motorcycles would be a divorce. Otherwise, he's just plumb crazy.
Or making room for more stuff.
I'm just saying.
Is it too early in the show for me to suggest that cocaine would? Well, I mean, it's not with Mike. I'm saying if it was me selling half my motorcycles,
No.
I was back on the dope.
No, you'd sell yourself before you sold your motorcycles.
Hello.
Come on
Well,
now.
there we go.
Wait, he
I'm
wanted
just
he
saying.
wanted to buy something.
Oh, Jesus.
So
Anyway, if you want to get in on this, hit the Macomb up auction up on their site and
we should go.
check out what the,
Yeah, Shane
the details are.
Conrad, bring your wallet, your brother's wallet,
Oh,
your
yeah,
wife.
right.
Just bring
Yeah,
everybody's
'cause
wallet.
while the
You're going
bikes,
to need it all.
but while the bikes are going to be in the as he found them condition,
Yeah,
I'm sure the price is not.
Yeah, right. I guarantee that.
Next up in the news, it's our sad
Excuse me.
privilege to share the story that was reported by the New York Times that Robbie Knievel, motorcycle daredevil like his father, dies at 60. He followed his father, Evel Knievel, into the high-flying world of motorcycle stunts, jumping the Grand Canyon, the fountains at Caesar Palace, passes away at the age 60. Daredevil performer who soared into the sky on motorcycles, pulling off a series of spectacular airborne stunts like his father, Evel Knievel, died on Friday in his home in Reno, Nevada. He was 60 years old. The cause was pancreatic cancer. Oh, man.
That sucks.
Mr. Knievel was sometimes billed as Captain Robbie Knievel, followed his father into the high-flying, bone-shattering world of motorcycle stunt performers, landing more than 350 jumps over his death-defying 30-year career. That's a sad day, but like I said, it's startling. Like him, the Presley girl, It seems like people like 60 years old is not
That's
that old.
way
you
too
know?
young. That's way too young.
Well, I think lifestyle might have a little something to do with
Well,
that
and
too.
you have to look at the human condition. You know, I don't want to get onto a big rant here.
No.
Said Dennis what's his name?
Dennis.
You don't even
Not
know.
Dennis
You totally
Leary.
blew your own line.
Dennis. That wasn't my. Hey,
Dennis Leary would have said a lot more than that.
where's my teleprompter? Wipe my mouth with the American flag, and I'm going to throw the wrapper right out the window. You know why?
Yes, I know why.
Dennis Miller. There.
Yeah.
I'm old. It takes me a minute.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the age bracket, and then you go back to look at somebody like Jeff Beck. I mean, what was Jeff Beck in his
He was 78.
in his late 70s.
Well-
Big time hot rod guy. Almost lost his life in the 60s in a hot rod.
You know, I was talking to a friend about this the other day, and they said the same thing. They were like, "Oh, well, lifestyle," and it's like, wait a minute. As long as there's a Keith Richards on the planet,
Yeah, you're not
Right?
kidding.
you're not selling me on a hard lifestyle.
All I know is
You know?
they need to study his DNA.
Well, I think he
Like,
died years
seriously.
ago. They just been like, it's like Weekend at Bernie's.
No.
He's animated now. He's actually a robot.
Anyway, I think it has more to do with the social condition, like the foods that are available to us.
Oh
and
yeah.
shit. Like,
The crap
you
they
know,
put in foods
preservatives,
today is
additives.
disgusting.
anyway,
But yet we still eat it. It's so
Moving on.
good.
this comes in from Ride Apart, and it should be under the crazy, batshit crazy news report. Harley Davidson CEO confirms company to go all electric in the future. A change is in the air, but that's going to take time to get there. And this is where I want to start talking like Jack Nicholson.
Well, they can't go electric till they come out with that snowmobile.
I thought it was a skidoo.
Wait a minute, seriously? Okay.
So
we all followed the road of the live wire. And down here in the article, they talk about Harley's live wire as the OG live wire, which I literally almost pissed
seriously,
my pants.
OG? It does the OG live wire. Oh,
The OG live wire.
Good
But
Lord.
seriously, Jock and Zeitz said that it's not going to happen fast.
Hey,
But
can we look closer at that Christmas photo?
that what?
Can we look closer at that Christmas photo?
Oh, damn it!
Well, we were looking for something interesting.
So he
here.
went on to talk
Electric
about wanting to
bikes.
honor the past while simultaneously evolving from it, and said electrification is natural evolution that needed to happen, part of the evolution, of course, attracting new customers to the brand, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
So, here's the deal. Decades or not, do you really want to shoot yourself in the foot like that? You're having a hard enough time right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut up. Just shut up.
Shut up.
So
Shut up.
The only thing I can imagine, he was saying this in an interview with, what was the name of the publication? Damn it. I should have
Christmas photos
D-Zine.
of the story. But it was everywhere. It was in the New York
Mad
Times.
Magazine?
It was in Ride Apart, New York Times,
specifically this interview with the publication Dezeen. And the only thing I can imagine is, how everybody's so worried about the optics today. How does it look if we don't actually say that we have a roadmap to get to the electronic revolution? You know what I mean?
Whatever, please.
I had 9 diesel pickup trucks running in my driveway today. You know what I'm saying? Screw that electric bike.
Back to Dennis Leary. Here we go.
Seriously. Yes, eventually, probably not in our lifetime. It may happen, but just shut up. Harley Davidson is an American icon for being loud and obnoxious and amazing and a lifestyle that a lot of people don't get. Just shut up. We want to keep that.
Nancy says I need coffee, and she's right. I left my coffee upstairs at the beginning of the show.
Oh, buddy.
No, you know what? I mean, like
gonna
I
be a
said,
short show.
everyone has to have their position on every sensitive piece of information that's out there today, so you don't know. The one thing I can tell you is they had an electronic vehicle program, then they didn't. So, I mean, if there was real interest and a real plan for that company, that involved anything within 10 years. Yeah, how about that? That was what Mark didn't tell you is when he had his 8 diesel pickups running today, he had gas stoves in 3 of them cooking hamburgers.
I saw the best meme today. The brain on drugs.
Oh my God, tell him. I wish you should have gave me
have
that to
it.
bring up in the news.
Can I send it to you?
No.
Oh, whatever.
It's too late. We already started the show.
Seriously?
Yep.
Just
You
blow
suck.
the picture up and hold it up to your camera. That's
All right,
what I
hold
do. It works out
Very.
Wow.
We're gonna go very technical.
You know, 40,000 or so people watching right now. We're all waiting for Heather to dig something up on the
I
phone.
know, but it's probably going to be funny.
It is funny.
So I'm good with it.
Never mind. I can't. I deleted it. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Because it's so true. Wait a minute. Can you see it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
1987, this is your brain on drugs. 2023, you can't afford the egg. The gas stove is being outlawed. But the only thing you can get is the drugs.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They're on every street corner. The whole gas stove thing, it just blows me away. They've already X'd it out. They're already ignoring the fact that they brought it up. So it lasted, what, 3 days?
3.5 minutes.
Yeah, three days it lasted. It's ridiculous.
Tom McFuxen Jessup.
McFixel.
McFuxen Jessup.
Sweet Jesus.
All right, man. So listen, last story up in the news, and this comes in from Kevin. Black Hills Fox. Buffalo Chip's motorcycle as art exhibit takes a new road. Michael Lichter is the curator. Sturgis Buffalo Chip exhibit motorcycles as art. But when Sturgis rally goers cruise over to the Buffalo Chip this August, they'll find the motorcycles art exhibit a little different. Instead of a theme show, the 15th anniversary exhibit will be more open, allowing a wider group of artists and custom builders to showcase their talents. Buffalo Chip Event Center will be remodeled, adding an adjoining building and gardens for the 23 rally. Also, curator and photographer Michael Lichter will be in an advisory role. While his role changes, Lichter will still be prominent in 23 exhibition, showcasing his own work. Michael continues to be an important part of the Buffalo Chip family. Chip President Rod Woody Woodruff said in a release, an unbelievable amount of work goes into the motorcycles art production, and Michael deserves accolades for his past work as well as a chance to sit back and enjoy the exhibit. I got to speak with Michael a little bit on the phone this week, and obviously this came up, and you know, Michael is gracious to a fault, you know what I mean, and he said that, you know, as things are changing, as times are changing, you know, he welcomes this different pace that the show is going to take.
I'm sure Katrin does too. I'm sure she's gonna love having him a little more available to her. He's having another knee replacement. I talked to him today. Yeah. He just had one, and he's having another one in 2 weeks.
He's bionic.
He's going to be the bionic photographer. Yeah, that's no shit.
He's not going to have to use a camera, just inserted right into his head.
All right, man. So listen, we're going to get on with it because our guest is waiting on the line for us right now. We're going to take a
with his diesel pickup truck and his gas stove going full blow.
We're going to take a quick break and check out a cool feature bike. On the other side, we're going to go to the airwaves and bring on Mr. Nick Hunter. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Shop Talk.
Out of Focus is brought to you by Garage Build. Submit your build, share your passion. Powered by Dennis Kirk.
John Palmer from Hershey, Pennsylvania. I have a 2005 Softail Deluxe. I tried to make it as old school as possible. I went with execution style body kit. Slammed it down to the ground as far as I could. Did some motor work to it, put a nice heavy hitting cam in it so it sounds like an old school bike. Just tried to go as old school as I possibly could, as clean as I could possibly make it, and a fun bike to ride around town. Bike started out as a 2005 Softail Deluxe. The paint was done in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania by Bob Drabenstad, who Bob just recently passed away from COVID in 2021. And then when I put the rake on it and did the 23-inch wheel, I had Kyle Morley from Execution Style paint the front fender to match the rest of the bike for me. My brothers and I own a construction company in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and we specialize in swimming pool installation, and we have some trucks that deliver concrete. I just built a new garage at my house, actually. You know, roughly 30 by 40. I got a table lift in there. 6-foot benchtop workbench, and it's nothing special, but it gets the job done, and it's basically at night after we eat dinner, the wife sits on the couch and I go to the garage. My dad always rode motorcycles as a kid, and he had this photo album from back in the day, like the old choppers, like back in the 70s. And he had this Sportster that he turned into a chopper, and he had a castle painted on the gas tank. And ever since I was a little kid, I seen that photo album, and I just thought to myself, like, man, like, that's super cool, you know what I mean? And I just, he has, some of his buddies had choppers in Easy Rider magazine. So yeah, I grew up around the motorcycles. Been riding dirt bikes and motorcycles since I was basically 3 or 4 years old. So, basically when I was a kid and I seen that photo album with the old school choppers and the custom paint jobs, I was pretty much into custom motorcycles from that point on. John Palmer from Hershey, Pennsylvania, and I'm a Dennis Kirk garage builder.
We're the Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. We understand the challenges riders face every day. As riders, we want to share the road and be seen by motorists. Remaining visible is critical to our safety and well-being. That's why we work tirelessly to promote motorcycle safety and awareness. We're proud to support our community that includes riders of all stripes. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Hey, this is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and today I want to talk to you guys about tires. So I'm in the Dennis Kirk warehouse where they pretty much have a tire for anything on 2 wheels. That's one of the tricky things today in your local shop. Sometimes it's hard to get a tire. Well, they ship today from here, so pretty much any of these you can have tomorrow. Everything for your dirt bike, your ATV, your UTV, you can get these out today. And in addition to features like the tire finder on their website, if you buy the wheel at the same time you buy the tire, you get free mounting and balancing. Check them out today at denniskirk.com.
All right, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk studio. Did you just plug your own birthday in the comments?
I did. So, hey, I hope John Palmer's wife never watches that video. Because in wife speak, he openly said she was lazy.
I know.
Like, seriously, dude, John, you are in the doghouse if your wife...
After dinner, she goes and sits on her ass.
Right? Totally, dude. I'm holding that. That is going to, like, come and bite you in the... Mm-hmm. You're in the garage, big trouble.
She's going to be turning that into a girl cave.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's going to be her she shed pretty soon, boy. You don't watch it.
I'll go girl. I can't say she shed. It sounds
she shed.
No,
too weird for me.
No, can't do it. Can't do it. So, hey, listen, one of the most celebrated activities that goes... Hey, see how this thing works here? This is when I'm on camera. This is when you're on. See, if you keep an eye there, you know who's actually got the talky part.
That would be me.
Go ahead.
It's all you.
Nope.
It's your turn to shine. Oh, so... Next.
You thought we would have edited it out. You're funny, John.
So listen, one of the most celebrated events that goes on during Daytona and other places coming soon, and we saw in 10 Jam this year, are the Sons of Speed races put on by Mr. Billy Lane. I say this over and over again. We all do. If you have a chance to go and see this and you miss it, you're out of your mind, because there is nothing as cool as watching these nearly 100-year-old motorcycles go around that racetrack. And,
get it around the racetrack. Like, can't even say go. Those things get it.
So every year, it adds more racers, more classes have been added. It's catching on, like it's really starting to get some momentum. Our guest tonight is one of the cats that's at the forefront of some of those changes, and a feverish racer himself, Mr. Nick Hunter. So we're gonna spend some time, tell you guys some things that are changing with Sons of Speed this year, and what you might be able to expect to see. Let's get him on the line.
Just Hanging Out in the Shop is brought to you by Spectro Oils. Made in the USA since 1966, the best oil on planet Earth.
What's up, Nick? How you doing?
What's going on, Chris? I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Oh, I'm on pins and needles, man, waiting for Daytona this year.
It's only 48 days away, my man.
That's awesome, but at the same time,
No.
oh God,
Damn it.
damn! Please, we need more time.
I need a lot more time. I promise you. Every time I go to the shop, it's it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
So let's get some of the let's get on record with some of the changes, some of the things that might be going on, some of the the big news. Obviously, you and I talked about this in pre-show. So the big news is Big Twin. Tell everybody the inception of that, the evolution of it.
Yeah. So we built a bike that was going to be a street bike for me. I had a race bike, and we built a VL chassis with a big inch ULH motor, and quickly realized that with the cams and everything that we did to this thing, it was never going to be a street bike. I was like, okay, well, what do I do with it now? So we put some street tires on it, and I talked to Freddie Bolwash. I said, hey, man, can I bring this Big Twin to New Smyrna and just, turn some laps and see what it does? He's like, shit, yeah, bring it down. So we brought it down there, and, it's probably the gnarliest sounding flathead that I know that I've ever heard. But we put it on the track and, realized quickly that you got to set these up a little bit differently. But the point is, I saw Billy taking some pictures of it. And a lot of people took pictures of it. But, I told Freddie, I said, hey, do you think there would ever be a Big Twin class? You think they'd ever do, the Big Twins on the track? He's like, oh, I don't know, man. Those things are so fast. They're this, that, and the other. And we packed it back in the trailer. We came home, and it wasn't even 30 days later. Freddie sends me a text on a Sunday afternoon. He said, Nick, there's going to be a Big Twin class at 10 Jam. I was like, get out of here, dude. You got to be kidding me. And so, yeah, we set the knucklehead up to bring it to 10 Jam. And it's the ball is definitely rolling on bringing the big bikes into the scene at Sons of Speed.
Now, you were telling me a little bit about the evolution of the knucklehead into this role, because this was this was previously one of your trog bikes, right?
Yeah. So I actually bought that bike when it was still a complete street bike, and my buddy Mike Silvio's got Cyclomo Speed Shop. He and I became friends over the years. And I said, Mike, I want to race this bike at Trog. So we did some small modifications to it and took it to Trog in 2018. And the track was really rough that year, and just wasn't the best conditions for racing that year. So we came back home. I said, dude, let's take this bike completely apart. I want to build a bike that can win this event. I said, I don't care, within reason what it costs. I want to win this event. So we took the bike apart. We made changes to the chassis. We built a completely new motor from the bottom up, and that bike was an absolute animal. There were 1 or 2 guys there that were close, but after one pass down the beach, we knew that we had a winner. And then while we're building that bike, Mike is building a 45 for what I think was the inaugural 45 event at Sons of Speed. And I'd watched the evolution of that over the first couple of years. And I said, hey, 45s. I said, that looks pretty cool. I'd like to do that one day. and didn't really give it, much thought after that until October of 21, I think it was. And Freddie made some comments about the green bike, about the big flathead, before I knew that I was bringing it. And he said, "Hey man, you gonna bring that thing down?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And he said, "Oh, you can come ride one of my bikes." And the Sons of Speed bug had bit me at that point. It was all downhill after that.
Yeah, man, that's no kidding. Like for anybody who even thinks that you're gonna go out and try this one time, I haven't seen a guy or a woman do that yet. I haven't seen somebody that came one time and went, it was kind of cool.
I knew the first time you came off that track, I was screwed. I was like, great, thanks. Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable, the difference in going fast in a straight line. I've drag raced. I did the beach racing. The first time you barrel into one of those turns at whatever speed your bike's going to go, I don't care if you're running 50 or if you're running 80, you get a pucker factor like no other. And you're like, oh my God, am I going to make this turn? And then, the more you do it, the more addictive it gets.
Well, that's what I liked you were saying in pre-show about, finally having the kind of power that a big bike has, and drag racing down the front stretch, but then realizing when you got to that corner how fast you were going and you were in the turn.
You're in the turn and you've got no brakes. All you've got is a little compression braking and some lean and maybe a quick prayer like, please don't let me hit this freaking wall.
Oh, dear God.
Figure out why everybody always has pillows taped to their right side. I don't understand what's going on here. It's addicting, that's for sure. Just watching it's addicting. I mean, seeing these old bikes and, like you said, coming up with the bigger, higher performance models, it's going to be crazy, man. It's always super interesting to watch. You never know what's going to happen.
No. It's the 45s, I think, are since 1930, 5, 7, somewhere in there, when the WLDRs and I guess the RLDRs before that, the smaller, lighter bikes were always the choice race bikes because they were faster because they were lighter. They didn't make the most power. But if we can get this big twin class and some of the hot rod knuckles and flatheads and pans on this track, I think they're going to put on. I'm not going to say they're going to steal the show from the 45s, but it's going to be a sight to behold.
It just adds to it, truthfully.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it just makes it more interesting. I mean, you're not going to just get to see these old bikes run. I mean, there's going to be such a difference in race, and it's also going to. As much as like you were saying before, it all comes down to the balls of the rider, Now that you're getting into performance, to see those passes on the straightaways and yet making those bends in the end is going to be super exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
I got to tell you a quick story about that. So, you saying that thing about the balls of the rider, you are so keenly aware of what your testosterone level is when you hit this track.
Oh, I can imagine.
Because you realize that, like, you look over, and when you're out in the track, and you're like, okay, well, these guys all have the same equipment that I do. You know what I mean? We're all facing the same thing, and a better line here and there or something like that. But I was always talking about the tires, the clincher tires, and like some guys use them, some guys don't. Is it safe? Is it this or that? And it's always going on in my head. The clincher tires and who are we camped with at Loretta Lynn's, Heather? We were camped next to another one of the racers that was waiting on 10 Jam.
Oh, Mike Lang.
Yeah, Mike Lang. So I got to spend a lot of extra time with Mike, and we were talking about stuff, and he said, last race you picked up a lot of time, and Mike's pretty good for encouraging you and stuff.
He wins all the time too.
So I said to him, I said, man, I said, Tom Kiefer, whose bike I ride, I said, he doesn't want to change from those clincher tires. I said, and I feel like, my confidence stuff, that would be such a big deal. And Mike Lang looked at me and he said, I run clinchers. So what? And I mean, he's so far in front of everybody all the time. Like, watching him race is a treat. And then when I was like, okay, well, he just said, okay, you have no balls at all.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Get your Sons of Speed t-shirt and get the hell off the track.
No, but I mean, I have to say you've made tremendous improvements from your first race. And that's coming from me, who is always nervous
That's
when you
coming
go out
from
there.
Heather, who upped the life insurance policy.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
right.
Like when he first told me he was racing, I was mad. I called Tom Kiefer. I said, "So, Mr. Kiefer, are you prepared to take care of me and my 2 bulldogs for the rest of my life should anything happen to my husband?"
Heather,
and he was
you
like,
and
yeah, and then like once I got into it, I became almost addicted to being in the pits and part of it. And I finally said to him, I'm like, "Hey, if you're gonna do this, do it."
Yeah,
like,
she almost
don't
called me.
screw
She
around.
almost
I'm
called
like,
me on the
"Hey."
no balls thing.
Oh yeah, I'm
My-
like,
my
"Hey, get
own
out
wife.
there and ride." Like seriously, he'll come off the track. I'll be like, "What happened?"
What was that?
But
I'm like-
that's, I mean,
I'm like,
that-
seriously?
that's really something to talk about. Like, you know, the strategy, the planning, like everything else. Like, there's a whole process that goes on here. I've done all kind of motorcycle racing. I've done motocross. I've done, you know, I've done regular flat track style racing. I've done hill climbs. But there's nothing like this. There's nothing like this. There's nothing where you have so much time to think out there.
And you have the least amount of control if you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, in any of the racing that you're talking about doing, the Sons of Speed racing, in all reality, the rider has the least amount of control.
Well, yeah, no brakes,
yeah. Like it's from the time that thing fires up, it's go time. Compared to like drag racing, when them lights turn green, it's balls out.
Yeah.
But you have control, you know, obviously, unless something goes wrong. And that's what I said before, to give everybody credit that gets on that track, that takes that chance. You know what I mean? But to be able to go and sit down and watch these guys do it, man, I give you guys all kinds of credit.
So that's something I'd like to talk to you about, man. Like when you got started in this, and what was your evolutionary process? Like, did you immediately do well with it? Did you go through steps like I'm talking about? What was your...
Not at all. Not at all. I much like yourself, I raced motocross when I was in middle school. I did some, you know, I wouldn't even call it racing, just some dumb shit on the interstate on sport bikes in my 20s. And then, you know, did the trog thing. And I got to the track at New Smyrna thinking, well, I've been on motorcycles my whole life. This is just another learning curve. And I can't stress enough the first time that you head into that turn and you hit the banking, and it just, I don't know, it's like it disorients you that you got to keep your head at a certain line. You got to look around the track, and no, in the beginning I was slow. I was super slow, but in much the same way that Heather said, you know, she saw improvement in you, or maybe Chris, you said it. Every lap that you make, you get a little more comfortable. You get a little more in tune to what the bike's doing. You get a little more in tune to, okay, if I swing wide, I can pull back down at the turn entry line. You just start taking in this information that helps you to turn faster and faster and faster laps. And so it's for me, I think I would say that anybody who's been on a bike, it'll take you a couple of races to really get comfortable and really get fast. And then after that, it's just a matter of, is my bike fast enough? And can I, keep up with the eBay Jakes and the Joe Orsinis and the Billy Applegates of the world who put 200 laps on motorcycles at that track. At that point, you start worrying about race lines and strategy and where can I make my pass and those sorts of things.
I don't want Chris to keep up with Joe and eBay and Billy. No offense, please let them run their own race. They're out there on their own. They can have it.
I don't know if you saw any of the video or anything from our smokeout event this year, but Jake and Joey Orsini raced each other on our dirt drags.
Oh yeah.
There is something wrong with eBay Jake, and I love him. Like, he's a fantastic human being.
Don't leave Joe out of that.
No,
Come
listen,
on now.
but Joe's a different kind of crazy.
Well, Joe's young.
Like, eBay Jake is like Muppet level crazy. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, there wasn't a time he got on someone else's motorcycle, and there wasn't a time where he really looked like he had control of the bike at all. He would be hanging off the right side, hanging off the left side. He had one hand and was all the way back on the seat, and he wouldn't get out of it, not for a second.
I don't think there's anything that eBay Jake and Joe Orsini wouldn't race. If we told them they had to race walkers on their knees, they would figure it out.
Yeah. And that's part of the interesting thing about that. Like you were saying, going into that the first time you went through, the disorientation of not being used to hitting those banks and, figuring out where your vision's at and where all that's at. But to talk like with eBay Jake and them, I mean, don't get me wrong. We've all, if you've raced, I know me and, I drag raced, and you go out there to do it. And that's all there is to it. Once you get to that certain point, and Chris can deny it all he wants. I've seen him go out there to do it. And this isn't even racing. This is just us shit decking going down the street, So, yeah, to feel that. And that's, I think, where Heather said you get addicted to the pits. Dude, you feel that in the pits. When you guys come back in and it's 100 degrees and you're sweating and you got all the gear on, and the last thing you think about doing is taking the gear off. You're jumping into work on that bike because you're worried about getting out the next run. It's super interesting. It's exciting to watch. And anybody who denies that, that denies himself going to see this is missing out on a hell of a show, and the show that you guys all put on,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, Rob Dorr in the comments said, part of the best part of it is in the pits.
Oh, yeah.
If you can get a pit pass, it is worth every penny. It's almost undescribable.
Oh, Dan Starkey's talking about the lead sled held dirt drags this year at the Buffalo Tip. That was
the
a
heads
blast.
up chopper. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. But yeah, you got to get a pit pass, like that VIP pass that gets you in the pits, worth every single penny.
Oh yeah,
because like aside from being right there with the racers, the camaraderie that you see throughout the pits, teams helping other teams,
and energy,
lending parts, and like I know Jake, there was one race that Jake had that he wouldn't have been able to run, let alone win, if somebody hadn't loaned him a part off of their motorcycle.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So let's move on for a second and talk about another one of the big changes that's going on behind the scenes right now that people may or may not know is happening, but you're on the inside and there's a potential new class developing as we're talking on this show.
There is, for sure. Yeah, the pea shooter class is quickly becoming a reality with Tom Banks and those guys heading up a couple of bikes, and I think Aaron Lovelace has got a bike that he was going to bring in October and is definitely planning on bringing back for the March event. But the pea shooters were kind of the evolution of racing. In the 20s, the big inch bikes were getting faster and faster and faster, and in an effort to make board track racing a little more safe, and the dirt tracks for that matter, they designed the bike that's on the screen there, and that's the pea shooter, the single cylinder bike, overhead valves. I think there were I want to say those bikes were 30.5 cubic inches, but still incredibly fast for what they are. And so the heritage of board track racing wouldn't be complete without those bikes, and bringing that class to Sons of Speed is just another facet of how big and how fast this event's growing.
Now, I want to make sure people know this real quick, Heather. I'm sorry. I want to make sure people understand this. When I first went to my first Sons of Speed, the inaugural Sons of Speed, I was like, in the back of my head, I had a skeptic's perspective. I was like, it all sounds really cool, but, these 100-year-old motorcycles, it's going to be like watching dust collect, right? Like how fast are they really going to be going around that great big track? And, and I, much to my surprise, like the twins and stuff, they were super exciting. When they added the flatheads, like the 45s, that got crazy, right? What the thing about the pea shooter, I had no idea how fast these bikes actually go. Like that is going to be a whole other thing. I don't think people understand, like when you say pea shooter, this bike is going to be in excess of 80 miles an hour on that track.
Wait a minute. Excuse me?
What?
Aren't you racing?
No, that's not been confirmed. I can't talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
But I mean,
up goes
that's
the life insurance.
That's a super fast motorcycle on that little tiny chassis, dude.
Yeah,
they weigh nothing. They weigh absolutely nothing.
It's a bicycle chassis, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah. Well, so the Hot 61 bikes, depending on exactly the frame configuration and if they're set up with a clutch or that sort of thing, those bikes weigh probably 180 pounds, 170 pounds, 190 pounds. The pea shooter is going to be probably 40 pounds lighter than that.
Holy jeepers.
Yeah, they weigh nothing.
Okay,
And
I'm
that's why they're
doubling
so
your
fast.
life insurance, dude.
Hey, Rob Doer just said a thing about the first race. It didn't even have 12 bikes. I will tell you, though, that was still historically, that was the greatest happening of all time, because the real thing, the race actually going down was complete celebration because they made it. The real thing happened for the week leading up to that race in Billy's shop, because those 12 bikes, those 12 bikes were
so
built
Yeah.
for that race, and mostly from what we saw at Billy's shop, they were built during that week at Billy's shop.
Yeah.
Just being there, like you and I like popped into the shop a couple times over the course of that week, and Barry Wardlaw and Warren and everybody, Paul Cox, I think was like duct taping his bike together at the last minute.
Paul came in
crazy.
with a box of parts and some tubing, for Christ's sake.
That's right, Chris, and a woman won Sons of Speed. That's right.
Yep. Tom Banks says pea shooters will be big fun. There he is.
Tom,
Yep.
I'm going to tell you the same thing I told the other Tom, just so you know.
Take it easy now.
Lighten up, Francis.
Heather is the voice of reason.
Well,
Yeah, not like he listens to me. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, she's more like Charlie Brown's teacher, but it's a thought that counts.
This is what he hears. Wah, 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 wah.
Right on. So what else can you tell us about Race of Gentlemen?
It's an incredible event. I've grown up around racing. My dad was a bracket drag racer for the last 25, 30 years. He just, kind of retired from that. But the Race of Gentlemen is as competitive as any other, form of racing, even though there's no prize money at Sons of Speed. There was no prize money at Trog. But these guys take it serious. These guys spend a lot of money. They travel great distances to go, that beach isn't really that fast, but at the same time, it was competitive. But the camaraderie at Trog was a lot like what you find at Sons of Speed. People helping each other out. As a matter of fact, the Saturday that I was there, I didn't make the first pass, and we broke a clutch finger on the transmission on the Big Twin. I had to rebuild the entire transmission on Saturday just to get it on the track on Sunday. But borrowed a clutch finger here, borrowed some clutch rollers from another guy. Got the thing back together. Just, everybody wanting to help make sure that you can get out there just so that you can try to kick their ass. I mean, that's one of the most addicting parts about all forms of racing, but most specifically racing these old bikes. People know how much is involved in just getting one out there, let alone making it competitive.
Yeah.
And that's the cool part. You said something there earlier that, there's no money there. We raced a drag bike for years, and we were the little guy in the big drag, and there was no money there. But, it is the thrill of the race. It's the camaraderie. It's the brotherhood. We went out there for 8 years, and 7 of the 8 years we had the fastest street Harley in the world. And the time there showed you what it means to competition also means to help each other.
100%.
You can't go out there and hate on everybody the whole time. You're never going to get anybody to come race with you anymore. So, that camaraderie is huge.
Well, for a while, like right before Cycle Source went to the national newsstands, we used to do 2 magazines a month. We did Cycle Source, and we did another one called Trackside Report,
which was awesome.
And it was, instead of being because there was plenty of actual professional, well-qualified racing magazines that were out there, we did a community thing from everything that happens around the track. And really, from AMA, district racing, the whole way up through sidecars and superbikes and everything else, almost every motorcycle racetrack that you find, you will find the environment of community around it.
Most
you know
definitely.
what I mean? So it's funny to see regular motorcycle people talk about that and say, wow, it was so great, the camaraderie, but that is what racing
And that
is.
even goes down to the food. I mean, for Christ's sake, we all knew that half the people couldn't afford to get to the race, let alone eat. So, the big top fuel guys, their teams that cook for everybody,
And that's something that Freddie does. He was talking about Fast Freddie earlier. Freddie, during practice, will break out a barbecue grill and start serving hamburgers and hot dogs for everybody. And it's badass.
Yeah, that was it. Jim McClure and Happy Rings and guys like that, their teams would cook and would all get to eat there because we're lucky we had gas money to get to the race. So, yeah, it's cool. And I said, those pits, if you can get into those pits, man, it's so well worth it.
So we have a clip here of you. Is this you racing at Trog?
Probably the beach clip that I sent. That's myself and a guy named Brian Cannon. We're both on what probably were the two hottest bikes there. And it wasn't the finals. I think that was the semifinal race. But a couple of guys were hand timing the events. They said that pass, the two of us on those bikes on that pass were the fastest pass of the day.
Well, let's check this out real quick. So two things I have to say from that, because I watched this video, getting ready for the show, and I was like, damn. And when you said that, the bike, it's not really that fast. It really looks that fast.
Yeah.
And the second thing is the pictures of the girls doing the flag jump thing are they're like poetry. They're beautiful. The girls up in the air. But when you actually see them do it in the video, they look like little autistic kids.
Christopher!
I'm just saying.
Don't you take that back. That's awful.
I take it back.
That is.
Okay, do you remember the article Jack wrote?
I do. I didn't say anything.
No, it doesn't matter. That was not nice.
Hey, lighten up there, Francis. It was funny.
No, that wasn't
For
funny.
Jesus' sake.
That wasn't funny. You're a big fat meanie head.
If you knew the flag girl, she would think that was funny too.
See?
For sure.
No.
Wow.
I'm just saying, because it's true. Like when you see the pictures, it looks like poetry, grace in motion, this beautiful
up in the air, flag
absolutely.
over their head.
Cycle Source does not endorse or approve the comments made by its creator.
Do it again.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
So, Chris, when I said that race wasn't that fast, it's any racing is fast, but most of the guys on the Big Twins would take off in second gear and they would shift to third at some point. I took off in second, and when I felt like that I got to the RPM that I needed to shift, I'm like, well, wait a minute, this thing's an eighth mile. I'm 100 feet from the finish line. I'm not shifting,
Right.
And so I out ET'd him, and he was mile an hour in me. If you're familiar with drag racing terms, he was catching me on the big end, so to speak.
Right.
So I'm wondering if racing on that thing is anything like the Salt, because when you're running at Bonneville, there's a lot of consideration for how much wheel spin that you're getting and how that transfers to what your speed is.
So one of the very first things that I was taught about that beach racing is you're not trying to feather the clutch on the takeoff. You're bringing the R's up, and when that flag drops, you're dumping it. Yeah. And it's basically at that point a motocross pole shot. I mean, you're just trying to keep the bike from wiggling out from under you and pointing it down the track. You're spinning the rear wheel the entire time until you get to the end of the track.
Yeah, it's definitely a factor of hook up and go, but the difference between sand and salt compared to asphalt is, you can't heat up. You can't even let air out of your tire because hook up when it comes to that. Like you said, to keep it as straight as you can, as much control is probably your best attempt at getting some forward speed.
I've never been on the salt, but I can tell you on the sand, just keeping the throttle pegged, keeping that centrifugal force or whatever the physics are behind that wheel maintaining speed. It keeps the bike upright. It'll wiggle a little bit, but it pretty well goes straight if you keep it pinned.
Yeah, traction's king there.
Well, yep. I know when we used to do like you get a chance every once in a while, and you'll know this from riding motocross. If you ever got to ride in a sand supercross, the riding position was completely different, just so you could maintain that stability and continue to get the hook up. Like you changed the whole way you sat on the bike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of the guys would put their ass on the rear fender in an effort to put some weight on the rear wheel.
Yeah.
I never was comfortable doing that. The bike seemed to do all that it needed to do just maintaining, just staying center of the bike, just, trying to center your weight and keep it pointed straight is the main thing.
Right on, man. Well, this is exciting. This is exciting times. A lot of people were wondering, for anybody that doesn't know, Billy had a great pickup at the beginning of last year when he got Andy George to come on board with this, and there's a lot of things going on with Sons of Speed, and I think we're starting to see some of that come to fruition. Of course, the 10 Jam event that was added this year that we didn't even really hit on, like actual old time clay dirt track that thing was off the hook, dude.
The environment at that race was so freaking cool, so laid back, and you guys were talking about the food. I remember you had a freaking taco bar spread that could rival anything I've ever seen. That was awesome.
You gotta feed everybody.
And that was experience. Heather worked the snowcross series forever. She grew up down the street from an old time motocross track, and that's what you do at the racetrack.
Well, that and it was one of those things. It was a great environment, but everybody was in their own little camps. And something that my family taught me is food brings people together. So we put 100%. Out that food, and everybody came and socialized and ate and laughed, and it just brought the pits together. And I think that's kind of something that should happen everywhere. So whenever we can, we like to do that.
So we have a question in from mailman Kevin O'Brien. Is there a difference between the inside and outside line when it comes to the sand?
So we've debated this over and over, and the short answer, the cop-out answer, if you will, is it depends. If the tides have just gone out and both lanes are wet, then you got a little bit better traction and there is no difference. But if you're waiting on the tide to come back in, if the side closest to the water is wetter than the lane that you're in, then you're going to go faster in the wet sand as opposed to the dry sand.
A little more traction.
More big.
Yep.
Right on, man. Well, listen, like I said, it's exciting times for Sons of Speed. Absolutely can't wait to see you in Daytona. You guys can check him out on Instagram. We're going to put up the link for your site now.
Nick Hunter 88 on Instagram. You can also you can get your tickets early for Sons of Speed. I will tell you right now that the pit pass tickets sell out fast. So I just threw a link up to get your tickets because they do sell out. And if you want to really, really experience Sons of Speed, I highly recommend that option. It's kind of like why be in the nosebleed seats if you don't have to? Kind of the same thing,
Yeah, good time.
That's
well,
awesome.
Nick, man, I appreciate you being on with us tonight and going over some of this stuff, and I look forward to spending some time with you in Daytona.
Most certainly, man. I'm looking forward to it. Guys, thanks for having me on. It was a blast.
Thank you so much, Nick.
Thank you, Heather.
All right,
See you, Nick.
Take it easy.
Take care, Mark.
Hey, you're watching Shop Talk here in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. We're going to take a real quick break and look at some cool tech. We're building some handlebars tonight in the Grease and Gears garage. When we come back on the other side, we got lots more to this show, so don't go anywhere. You're watching Shop Talk.
Hey, this is Chris with Cycle Source Grease and Gears TV, and we're in the garage today to make some handlebars.
Shop Talk Tech Tips are brought to you by S&S. Proven performance for the power sports industry.
Okay, so the first and probably the easiest modification you can do to your motorcycle are the handlebars. Lots of different choices you have there, from mini apes to tall apes to drag bars and T-bars. Tonight we're actually going to be working with Tom from Franklin Church Choppers on a pair of rabbit ear bars. These are kind of a 70s sort of throwback chopper deal, and Tom has his own twist on it. So let's go in the garage and check it out.
So we're going to make a set of handlebars tonight. We're going to use this a little twisted bike here. We're going to basically make them like these rabbit ear bars, but I want mine to come a little closer together. But then we're going to kick them out to get my wrist in a little bit better position. We're also using an internal throttle, so we have to leave a little bit extra because when we cut the bar off, the internal throttle goes in and anchors, kind of like an old gooseneck from your BMX days when you were a kid. So this is what we're going to start with, and let's see what we come up with. So based on these bars, we're going to use this seamstress type tape. We're going to pull it out. We're going to take it all the way down to the top tree and wrap it around and come all the way to the end. And we've got basically 21.5 inches from there. We know we're on 3.5-inch centers is what the top tree that I'm using on my Springer is. So we're gonna use this angle finder to find the angle. So the first thing we're gonna do is slide it in, go straight with the bars, hold it nice and parallel, and we're gonna zero it. Now we're zeroed out. Now I'm gonna slide it up, go up and over the bar, holding it parallel with my left hand, and then coming down and finding this angle. And we are at 88.3. Maybe 90 degrees even. All right, so our first bend is indicated right here at the start point with our line. We've already done our 90 degree on both sides with the pillow block, with the Sharpie, so we know the center line of the entire pipe. So we're gonna start here. There's a start line. We're gonna go to 90 degrees, but this has a 2% bounce back, so we're gonna go to 92 degrees. So when we let off, it's actually gonna come back to 90. So you see the center line of the 90, we use the pillow block to actually mark that. And if you actually look now, you can see that we still have the center line all the way around the corner and still out. So we still know that it's on line. We have a perfect 90 degree bend. So our first bend here is 102 degrees with the 90 degree, and then we measured back from the first line, the long side, and this bend right here is 24 degrees because it sprung back to 22. The other side was a little bit more difficult to do because we had to flip it backwards and upside down and use a short pillow block. But here's what we got for handlebar look. So we're measuring in our 3.5 for the outside edge of the coping. This will be the centerpiece of the handlebar that actually joins the two handlebars together in the small piece. We slide this little perfectly square ferrule on to be able to transfer our line all the way around perfectly. Be a visual is we're going to cope this kind of like this on both sides. And then the other handlebar will be able to go into it, and this is the centerpiece to actually connect the two handlebars together. This is our 2.5-inch line on the inside edge of the coping, and from end to end it'll be 3 inches from this end to this end, but 2.5 from here to here when we're done. We have the 90 degree line right here, so we put it in, make sure we're on the 90 degrees. Tighten it down, run it back in, run it in close to the bit so we actually have more stability so it doesn't make the bit shake. And we run it in nice and slow down to that line that I just slid that collar on to be squared up. We made a jig for these handlebars, put the bungs in the bottom, squared everything up, measured, crisscross measured to try and make sure we had the handlebars right. This is the height they're going to be off the tank, and I stood above them and got what I believe to be my most comfortable position. Now they will be shorter on both ends because I got to put the internal throttle in, and then I'll cut the left bar down to match the internal throttle on the right. But that's pretty much your position and what they're going to look like over the top of my tank.
All right, so rabbit ear handlebars, pretty easy. You know, a couple pieces of tubing, a little bit of notching, a little bit of welding skills, and you can make your own custom bars at home. Obviously, after the bars are all done, you know, if you want to indicate any wiring pasta or whatever, these are going to go out to powder coating or chrome, but nice, easy project you can pick up in your own garage. This is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, Greasing Gears TV. We'll see you next time in the Greasing Gears Garage.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
Bikers Info USA, the first bikers app by bikers, for bikers, and it's free. National and state events, Sturgis and Daytona, Bikers Info USA. Every motorcycle manufacturer dealer listed. Biker products for you and your bike. Bikers Info USA. Find the places to go, places to party, places to stay at every event. Bikers Info USA. Download it now. It's free. Bikers Info USA.
Welcome back to the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. You're watching
That was a really
ShopTalk.
great tech, honey.
See?
That
it
was
really
a
was.
really good tech. I want to make the handlebars for hooking and booking.
You should.
Can I?
Yeah, right. Professional monkey. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. Wait, I need my effects. You'll only need the edge.
You know what my favorite part of that segment was? When Kiefer pulled the bar out from underneath the bike and all the tools fell.
Shh, you weren't supposed to know.
I know,
that.
it's so awesome. Anybody that has a garage had to appreciate that.
So hey, this is the time that we told you guys about. This is it. This is.
Oh, I gotta find the link.
Groovy.
Creepy, creepy.
So we are going to invite you guys into
If you
the
can
show.
figure it out, you have to know how to zoom. If
You
you
have to
don't know how to zoom,
Must be a zoomer.
Heather's going to put the link up now, and I will get to as many of you guys as I can, if it goes very well.
Oh, boy.
If not, we'll see. We're just going to admit on air that was a dumb idea, and we'll go on to something else. But hey,
ready,
We'll
set,
come up with another
and you
dumb
know,
idea.
even just so you know, when I post it on YouTube, everybody else can see it, right?
no, you should.
It comes
just,
up in the chat bot, even when I post on YouTube. Just so you know.
Oh, well, then I should hide
It's
the
not
chat
gonna be
box. I'm not
secret.
going to put the chat box up now. See, you just ruined it for everybody.
Don't do that.
And actually, I'm looking at the chat box. Oh, it did.
I told you.
It's
I
a good
told
thing you said. I told you.
I told
I
you.
told you.
Oh boy.
Radar says he's here. I
You
don't see you on Zoom.
You are not.
You actually have to click
You
on
have
the
to
Zoom.
click on the Zoom link.
And
He's
we're
on
off to a
YouTube.
flying start.
He put his finger on it. I'm here.
I touch YouTube.
Oh,
Hey, look, Nick Hildebrittle in first.
Oh boy.
Let's bring Nick in.
Well, look at that. He'd be the first one.
All right, Nick, you're on Shop Talk.
It's very
It's
dark where
dark.
you are. Very dark.
I see
It's
shadows.
dark, and I can't
Oh,
I
boy.
can't
Oh,
hear
oh.
anything.
What is going on there? Is he hiding in a dark room?
No audio from Nick.
Oh, I see a face.
Half a face. We see a partial face.
Nick, you got to start your audio.
He's like, I'm out.
He's in a cave.
He is too.
Oh,
What?
he gave up on us. It was you, Heather. I blame you.
What you have to know how to zoom.
Bill Stevens says next.
Must be a zoomer.
Bill Stevens, do you know how to zoom? Somebody
so
zoom.
This is like I said, this is something new we want to try. So maybe as you guys get more experience with it, we'll be able to do more of it. But we want to get
Practice.
more of the audience involved. If we were a big fancy production,
Oh boy.
we'd be able to just have a programmer put together our own thing.
But we're cellar dweller. Oh, who
Dan
was that?
Starkey, cut it
Oh
out.
boy.
Dan's a man.
Dan knows how to do this stuff.
He could be.
Dan was in the January-February issue of Cycle Source.
He was with his.
Look, I
bitchin'
have it right here.
motorcycle.
Wait a minute.
Says Dan Starkey connecting to audio.
Ready? Wait, let's.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Oh, here we go.
And
That's Dan Starkey's.
Wow.
Look at that.
Dan, you with us?
How you guys doing?
Hey, look at that. It worked. Drew Woodford
look
said,
how
wait,
comfortable he looks
Drew,
while
don't
he's
you
doing
follow
it too. Look.
directions?
he got that bitchin' hat. Someone
Yes.
else in, Rob Doer.
Oh boy.
I'm
We're
just going to keep adding people. We'll have a big old party here.
Drew, you have to listen to directions. The YouTube link is only, the Zoom link is only on YouTube. You have to go watch it on
Rob,
YouTube.
what's up, man?
Do we have multiple? Let's see if we can get everybody in there.
Dude, did you see Rob's car that he was driving today?
No.
A Shelby Cobra.
Shut
I swear he posted
that
on
hat?
Facebook. Tropical tattoo.
Tropical tattoo hat. I like it.
Yeah, I got one of them. The
Yeah.
Shovelhead crew. You had to be somebody. Rob, you there with us? Okay, so of you two guys, we're talking Sons of Speed tonight and the new classes. What do you think, Dan? Pea shooter, big twins. Sounds like Sons of Speed's getting faster.
I don't think I'd fit on a pea shooter.
Well, yeah, you're like 7 feet tall.
It'd be fun to watch, though, wouldn't it?
I'm down to watch for sure. Those races that's the shit.
Yeah.
So congratulations on being in the magazine this issue. Bitchin'
No,
feature.
it's a huge honor.
Heather
Thank you
had
so much.
it up for us. Yeah, man. Yeah. Very cool.
It's a beautiful bike.
Yeah, it's a great bike.
You guys are too good to me.
Nope.
Oh, but you built some nice stuff.
Yes, you do.
Let's go over to Rob. You with us there, buddy?
Can you hear us yet?
He's smiling away.
I was
but-
going to say, got a $1 million smile going on.
Okay. Rob, we're not getting your audio.
So, Dan, what are you doing next? What's next for you?
It'll be a surprise. I think you'll like it.
Are you going to Cycle Showcase?
I'm working on a bike right now.
For Cycle Showcase?
I don't think so. I'm planning on being in Daytona though.
Oh, nice.
There you go. There you go.
Very nice.
No.
I can't wait to see what you're doing. Is it like totally out of your... I guess you don't actually have a norm. Each bike you've done has been very different from the last.
Okay. Radar, if you're going to be on here, you have to have video.
Is that Heather talking to me?
Yeah.
Yes, I was. I was asking
Hold on a
if...
second. I'll be right back.
He just put us on hold.
Maybe he's going
Live.
to... Oh, wait. I have the weirdest feeling he's going to show us something that's going to make us jealous.
If he
I
comes
don't know
back,
what the hell I'm doing.
If he comes
hey,
back...
Rob, is that you?
That
That's
sounded like radar.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Ash is here.
Hey, look at that. Do we have audio? No.
Do we have audio?
I don't know how to
for
make my
There's
camera.
There you go.
Ashley,
Just to prove I have been starting.
can you hear us? Can you talk?
Damn it.
Okay.
Where's Dan? Go back to Dan.
Go back to Dan.
There you
Oh,
go.
look at
boy.
that.
Little teaser, you say?
So I've been working at least.
Yeah, right. Well, we never doubted you were. That's for damn sure. You always seem to bring something to the table.
Okay, let's just bring up the gallery view. I'm going to give all of you guys a chance to be in here, and we'll see what happens.
Did we get a message to Ashley that we can't hear her yet?
I can hear you.
There you
go.
are.
We couldn't hear you.
Hey, Ashley. Ashley is part of the Buell Brothers and Sisters race team. They race in Bonneville and El Mirage.
Steve Broyles, working pretty good so far. Smart ass.
So, hey, be nice. So, Ashley, tell us about your Buell Brothers and Sisters and why you want to race Sons of Speed.
I'll check out. I just wanted to say hey.
All right, buddy.
That's Drew's arm if you see it. But so with Buell Brothers and Buell Sisters Racing, I myself have 2 land speed records so far. My husband, you can kind of see here.
Drew.
Hi, Drew.
Hi, guys.
Between the 2 of us, we have like 6 records now in this house. I also flat track, do a lot of the local stuff. I just think it'd be cool to do, but as you guys know, like I can't afford all this racing on my own.
Right.
So if someone's willing to help me,
We need to get a program going like they do for the Cannonball for the love of old motorcycles. But
Yeah.
we need to do it for Sons of Speed. We need to get like a scholarship program going.
Well,
I
and
think.
it's ironic that it ends up you guys looking for a ride for something because the whole impetus of Buell Brothers and Buell Sisters is the fact that you guys give people the Bonneville experience. You have a bike that's set up specifically to give people that experience of a lifetime, that if they make it to Bonneville, they bring their leathers and their riding gear, they can actually make a pass on the Bonneville Salt Flats on a bike that you provide them. So it would be totally appropriate that you get a ride to Sons of Speed.
so if my husband's okay with this, I'm
Agreed.
bringing this up right now for the first time, is if you want to come to Bonneville and ride our bike and I ride your bike, let's trade.
Nice.
Nice.
Wait, how do I get in on this?
Just say yes.
Yeah, I think you're just supposed to sit back, be quiet for a minute while she does the dealing.
Wait a minute though. If
she knows what. Hey, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know this though. If I come up with a bike for you to ride in Sons of Speed, can I ride Drew's bike at Bonneville?
Oh boy. Oh, look, serious look there. You got
Wait, which one of my Bonneville bikes? You forget I also have Ray Wheeler's bike too.
Oh. I wouldn't ask for that.
It should do 225.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Up the life insurance policy.
You get a bike for her and I to ride. We'll hook you up with a record bike for Bonneville.
All right, man. Well, listen, we'll do the best we can to try to find out something with you guys. Let me see if we can bring somebody else in here. I'm going to try to. I think this might be Mailman.
Is it the post office?
I think the post office is with us.
Kind of a fun name.
Well, he's Mailman. He calls her mailbox, but.
Yeah. So when they're together, it's the post office.
Wow.
I know, right?
I'm just not gonna touch that.
Yeah, I can't call her that name. I have to. Her first name's Cheryl, and that's what I stick with.
Rob, are you with us yet? Do you have audio?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yay!
Look at that.
There we go.
Look at that Reading standard.
Oh.
Dude.
You can teach old guys new tricks.
Right on. Look at that bike, dude.
Is this who was driving the Cobra
Yes,
today?
this is who was driving the Cobra.
Where's the Cobra?
It's out in the shop.
Oh, I'd
Mark, I'll send you a link to
I'd
it.
way rather be looking at that.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Similar colors, though, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Both on blues and greens.
Original or rep?
No, it's a Classic Industries 427.
Nice.
Tremec 5-speed, 4-wheel disc brakes.
So, Rob, what do you think about the pea shooter class for Sons of Speed?
I love the pea shooter class and hope to have one.
Nice.
They are a very exciting bike to ride and amazing, power to weight when you're talking about the actual weight of a pea shooter compared to a big twin.
Yeah.
They just as scary, but a little more handleable.
Right on. Well, we're looking forward to all of Sons of Speed this year, but I think the speed part of it is going to step up with that for sure.
Yeah. It's an amazing race. The whole event has been wonderful since the very beginning, and we sat around one day talking. I hadn't enjoyed a bike week in like 10 years as much as the first Sons of Speed.
Okay, listen, this might be an inappropriate question to ask you, but is that animal from the Muppets hanging from a noose above your Reading standard?
Well, he's hanging from my dog tags, actually. And that's a 70s animal that came on an old chopper of mine.
Wow. Dude, that's so cool.
So yeah, that's actually my dog tags from I retired from the Army.
Oh, thank you for your service.
See that, Heather? And you say that I don't pay attention.
I can't believe you picked that up.
I tried to not show the gun rack, but yeah.
All right, Rob. Well, listen, man. Thanks for being patient.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, Rob.
I think we have Mailman now.
Hey, Mailman.
Are we live with the post office?
Well, part of it. Where's the rest of the post office?
Just the shipping, not the receiving.
Yeah. Which one?
Oh my God.
Oh, that's terrible.
There's the receiving.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
You guys, first thing this morning, you guys come up in conversation. Dana dreamt about you last night, Cheryl.
Oh.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Dana dreamt about you last night.
First thing when I woke up this morning, I heard Cheryl's name. So
oh man, I'm gonna have to talk to you about that dream later.
In depth.
Yeah.
Mailman, tell Cheryl that I'm gonna send you extra copies of the issue we're printing right now because it's Chicks on 66 and she's in a bunch of the pictures.
Yeah, a bunch of it.
Great.
So I'm gonna send you guys a stack so you can have them.
That'll be awesome.
So
Cycle Source with the Chicks.
Oh.
Cycle Source
Thank
with
you.
chicks, as opposed to Easy Riders with chicks.
Yeah.
There you go.
So for those of you guys that don't know the post office, they come to just about every rally and are two of the most helpful, kindest human beings on the face of the planet. They showed up at Smokeout, and I don't know that we could have pulled off. Like they were just such an integral
I think they might
part
have
of
worked
what we
harder
did.
than us.
They're a big part of the team. That's
Pretty
for
damn
sure.
close, I'll tell you what. But like, if you ever see them, please thank them for everything they do for everybody. They help at Chopper Time and TMMR and Sturgis, and no matter where they are, they lend a hand to everybody and anybody. So
big part of the industry. Big
Yeah,
part of
big
the
part of our
backbone of the
family.
industry. Yeah.
Yes, sir. and two of the most famous people we know.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Most,
But
yeah.
between the two, you've been on like 199 episodes of ER and shit like that, right?
I'm actually working on a new thing right now, but I can't tell you about it.
Great. Real
It's
nice.
gonna be so freaking cool.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
Okay, can you tell us who like one of the stars is?
One of the what?
Some guy named The Rock.
Oh, I need to come help you.
Some
I think you need an assistant.
some guy named what?
The Rock.
Oh,
You definitely need an assistant.
settle down over there, Marcia.
Yeah, but I can't say anything about it because
That's all right.
I get fired.
Oh, we don't want you to get fired.
Do not do that.
Do not do that.
No.
We gonna see you guys in Daytona?
You're going to see me probably. I don't know if Cheryl's going to make it down.
Aww.
So
Yeah, I got something going on. And I told him.
I mean, not that we don't love seeing you, mailman, but you're kind of like, you're a package deal.
Shipping, not receiving. That's what I'm
I
saying.
know. I know. I told him he could go though.
I'm going to come down and help Willie with his show.
Beautiful.
So I may stick around.
Right on.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, let us know if you're making
hopefully
it.
I can try and score pit pass
Well-
with the real kids.
Right on. You can come in with us.
Yeah, you can come in with
Yeah.
us. I got you, mailman.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
She's like,
all of a sudden, she can make it.
all of a sudden, there's a change in
All right.
schedule.
Listen, man, love to you both. We'll talk to you soon. I'm gonna try to get someone else in here. Let's go to Chris No.
Tell your mom hi, Heather.
See you
I
guys.
will.
Chris, what's up, man? Blam.
Did we wake him up?
That was funny.
Do we got audio with Chris?
I don't think
Nope.
so.
Chris, I have to tell you, I think the whole shipping and receiving thing might be one of the funniest things you've ever said.
Well, hey, you know he has the line mailman delivers, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
it's appropriate shipping and
It's
receiving.
so appropriate yet inappropriate all at the same time.
Out of the mouth of Chris, what would you expect?
Oh,
All right,
God.
man. Well, listen, I want to thank all you guys for helping us test out the snooze system.
oh,
It's
this was fun.
definitely something we want to do more of coming up in the future. So practice up on your Zoom skills so you
practice
can
Zoom.
come in. Maybe we can actually pick up an assistant and
of
try
course,
to make it a
of
little
course,
more
your
seamless.
one-liners, because God knows you need them when you come over here.
I actually got in trouble for some shit tonight.
I know you got yelled
I
at.
did get yelled at.
And you got to admit, you kind of deserved it.
I sort of did. I did. I'll admit it. I
come on.
apologize. I didn't mean.
Hey, even in
I'm
this world,
old.
people's dogs are pussies now. Get over it. It was a joke.
I'm
Hey.
old.
No hurt
I'm
feelings.
old.
Settle down, Nancy.
No hurt feelings.
I'm old. That's all. That's my excuse. You ever, don't
blacked
you
out.
don't you hope to get to that age that next time, like,
Oh, I'm there.
you get to the age where it's just like nobody says anything to you because you're old and they realize it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, leave him
you're
alone.
Kinda,
So he doesn't
I'm
have
just
pants
saying,
on. He probably doesn't even know.
Remember,
You're not quite there yet, but
I got that going on. Come to work with me for a day.
Oh. There's no pants at work.
Well, if
Chris,
that's
you
what
look
it comes
scared.
down to.
All right, so hey, it's that time, Blondie. You ready?
is it event time?
It is now.
The Shop Talk events calendar is brought to you by the Bikers Info app, the Everything Bikers app, all in one place, everything you need, and it's free.
Cycle Showcase STL in beautiful downtown St. Louis at the City Foundry, February 11th and 12th, a Super Bowl weekend.
Coming in hot.
Yeah, buddy.
Coming in hot. I'm looking forward to it. Chopper Fest, February 12th, Ventura County Fairgrounds.
Damn it.
I know, same time. It sucks. Mama Tried, February 18th through 19th, 2023 at the Eagles Ballroom in Milwaukee.
You know, I have to tell you, every time you say Eagles and Ballroom,
Eagle Balls?
Suddenly Desperado plays in my head. I don't know what that's about, but...
I don't even know what's going on. Can't even look at you anymore.
Moving on. The Prowl Motorcycle Show, Bisbee, Arizona, March 18th, 2023.
Old Chuck's taking the skin boat to Tuna Town. He's on the prowl.
Well, you do the howl on every other one, but the one that has the prowl.
Hey, I just realized earlier somebody you had said something that somebody wanted me to give you an
Somebody
amen.
said
so-
something.
Can I get an
Somebody said
amen?
what?
He said something about balls out, and somebody said give that man an amen, and I forgot. Like I said, I'm old.
Wait, you said balls out.
Next.
I forgot the card.
There we go. Donnie Smith's show in the Midwest Motorcycle Extravaganza at the River Center in St. Paul, Minnesota, March 25th through 26th. We'll be there. I hope you are too. Arizona Bike Week, March 29th through April 2nd at Westworld of Scottsdale. We'll be there. We hope you are too. We're doing Grease and Gears Garage and a bike show and bike games. Actually, 2 bike shows and bike games. And they have a killer music lineup. Like, I'm super excited this year.
How about the fact somebody just called us out on the fact that we don't have? How about the fact that somebody called us out on the fact? Well, I'm repeating myself a lot tonight. We don't have Sons of Speed dates listed here.
Well, they didn't give me a flyer.
Oh.
Well, those bastards.
It is March 4th, Sons of Speed. Practice is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, racing Sunday? I don't know.
Sunday.
Whatever March 4th is the race day.
There you go.
Cyclesource Bike Show at Arizona Bike Week, no charge to show, Saturday, April 1st. That is an all-class bike show, like 30 some odd classes.
Can we hire the guy that used to do the monster truck commercials to do a commercial for us for our bike shows?
Probably could.
No.
What do you mean no? This is a good idea.
No. You can do it just fine. Do your little voice.
No.
I mean, you do a killer voice.
Oh, do your little voice.
Do your little voice. Way to go, little buddy.
Show him your little thing, honey.
It's so cute.
Words no man ever wants to hear. So the date on this is going to change to Thursday, March 30th, slow race, plank walk, barrel wall, weenie bike, and ring toss at Arizona Bike Week. First time we're doing this, so don't let us down. Come on out and
Cash
play.
prizes.
Cash
Cash prizes.
We like money, money, money. Texas Fandango Cherokee chapter of the AMCA, March 31st through April 2nd. Outstanding event. Great melding of antique and vintage motorcycles along with dirty chopper jockeys. It's awesome. I highly recommend it. The One Motorcycle Show, April 28th through the 30th. Go to theonemoto.com for more information.
Didn't we say this is actually the other one?
This is the other one.
The other one.
The inaugural Black Hills Motorcycle Show, hosted by our good friends at Deadwood Custom Cycle in Deadwood, South Dakota, May 27th, 2023.
We have a new flyer for that now.
Well, yeah, sorry.
Where is it?
Back Road Barbecue Run, May 12th through 14th. That's out of order. May 12th through 14th, 2023, Trenton, North Carolina. Trent River Campground. You can go to Back Road Barbecue Run for more information. The Smokeout. Sorry, I got distracted by the comments. I saw a butterfly.
Speaking of strokes.
I saw a butterfly. September 7th through 10th at the Rowan County Fairgrounds. It's going to be an amazing time. Tank full, invited builders, dirt drags.
It's going to be all right.
TMMR is happening, Mike, but I don't have a flyer. I'll have to get one or see if maybe they'll send me one. That is the weekend of the 22nd, I believe, if I remember correctly, but I'm not sure.
Drew said, now it looks like Sons of Speed, too, because he said, we'll be at Cave Creek, Arizona Bike Week, and probably the Prowl. And now it looks like Sons of Speed, too.
There you go. Awesome.
We were into a deep conversation with them, and then we switched pages. And never got back.
Somebody has got to get that girl on a bike because she is a total badass.
Right. Can we ask Freddie? Can we talk to Freddie?
Yeah, dude.
Did
How
you guys
about
talk
that?
to I thought we put those. I thought we connected the two, and then Freddie retired, but Freddie's back now, so
Yeah.
maybe they can reconnect.
Let me get with Freddie about that because Freddie is
Freddie?
that kind of person
Did
to
you say
help
Freddie?
somebody
Yeah,
have
and I
an
do
experience.
think I think they had connected maybe once before. So
Right on. Well, listen, we want to thank Biker Info USA for helping us out with the events here. And actually, we bust our balls, but
it's a cool app. It's a super cool app.
It's a really cool app. Because
Annoying
it's
commercials, super cool app.
Letting you know. I think the annoying commercial is part of it. That's why I'm
Right.
saying we ought
That's
to get
exactly right.
we ought to get the monster truck guy so we
You
can
know,
be like
as
custom Sportsters.
As annoying as it is, it makes you remember it.
Get your tickets now.
That was weird. Ashley hates being called a badass.
Why?
Why? You are. Get over it, Ash. Just
She
saying.
hates being called a BA. Well, when you talk about somebody that's like
That's like awesome.
a badass.
Okay, what would you like us
Save
to
a
say?
Sportster, chop a hipster.
Dude, how did
That's going to be a new shirt.
How did I not grow up with this cat?
Right?
How did I not grow up with him?
Who?
We love you, Professional Monkey.
He says, save a Sportster, chop a hipster.
That sounds like fun.
All right, well.
That would eliminate
this
one
is,
whole event.
If this was your first time in, I almost feel like I owe you an apology. I might even owe you your money back, but...
You're right.
Every Sunday, 9 p.m., tune in to another episode of Shop Talk where we do our very best to entertain you from the two-world world. We got some news, do some interviews, we do some tech. It's
We do some
basically
ball busting and
basically hanging out in the shop doing what we do anyway, and you guys get to come along for the ride. So we appreciate you being here, sharing your time with us, and until next week, we can cobble together another 90 to 120 minutes of all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. Same chopper time.
same chopper channel.
Hope you enjoyed the circus, Felicia.
Am I actually going to get the tension from tonight's show?
Good possibility. You're getting curved.
You're a big trouble.
Great motorcycle parts, products, and events. S&S Cycle, Makuni American, Baco Parts, The Broken Spoke Saloon, Twisted Tea, The Iron Horse Saloon, High Seas Rally, Twisted Choppers, Twin Power, Drag Specialties, Geico, Law Tigers, Tech Cycle, Fueling Parts, Lone Star Rally, Hijinks Apparel, Progressive Insurance, Spectra Oil, No School Choppers, Motion Pro Tools.